all these things, right? I know you heard about slavery, brother. Right? All our people's in the slave field, man. Right? So, hey, and even your people too. Your people's in slavery too. To show that, hey, God has placed those things upon us to show us who we are. Right? Let me get verse 54. Actually, let me get verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shall thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
And in hunger, right? So our people, who do we go to if we hungry? Do we go to our own establishments that our nation put up? Or do we got to go to these other establishments that's to the other nations? That's not us. Do we go to a Safeway or Whole Foods, Sprouts, a Walmart, Target, all these other establishments? None of our people owns them, right? Or started it, right? Continue.
And in thirst. And in thirst.
Same thing with the beverages, any drink that you want. Water fall free from the sky. If you collect water in a basin, and you'll get a fine. They taxes even on water, which is free. Continue on.
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things. If you want a birth certificate, if you want to live in your apartment, if you want to go to school, if you want anything, they'll tax you on it. You got to go to their institutions. Even in the HBCUs, they run the HBCUs too. Right? Continue.
It says that he shall put a yoke of iron.
He shall what?
He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Let me get verse 68. Shalom, brother. Right? Verse 68. Let me get Deuteronomy 20 and 2.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right? The Lord said, I'm going to bring thee into Egypt again. How did our people come here to America? Or how do they say we came here to America? By boats. Right? What about you, sister? You say what? Yeah. You know, it's okay, you know. What's your nationality? I'm sorry? You native? Okay, yeah. A lot of, the native people, they were here. We could get that too. But prior time, nobody really lived out here. Until y'all came over here. We agree with that, right? So y'all was out here and y'all had your own civilizations. But they say even that, we came over in slave ships, right? Continue on.
And the Lord.
Actually, bring this up, 20 and 2.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
From where?
Out of the house of bondage.
So the Lord said, hey, I'm going to bring you to another land that's Egypt, because Egypt, it literally goes back to between a hark and a rock place, meaning a bondage place. You're being bonded up, right? What's another word for bondage? Captivity or slavery. So when the Lord said, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt again, that's what he's saying. Remember, he said, hey, we came over with slave ships. That's how people came over here. He said, your people came over here, was already over here. But we know through history that y'all even came over in through ships too. And even when Christopher Columbus came, he ended up putting y'all on boats too and shipping y'all everywhere in the world too. Continue on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Right? Slave ships. Did y'all know that was in the Bible? Did y'all know that history was in the Bible? Right? He said, hey, slave ships, continue on that.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
That's not people sold. Hey, the Native Americans, they did the Native Americans wrong. Right? Hey, they celebrate Thanksgiving. All commemorating, what they did to her. And then the so-called black man, it's self-explained. They make movies about it 1,000 times to show what they did to us, right? To show us, ultimately, all those things is just to show us who we are. It's not, nobody, we don't dwell on the past, but we got to know where we're going, know where we've been, so we know where we're going, so we know how to get maneuvered through the world. But continue on that.
For bondmen,
for slave men,
and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Slave men and no man is going to buy you out of this captivity. Because here in 2023, we still here in the land of America. Still where they came in from west coast of Africa, or where the Native Americans came was when they landed, they still here. Hey, put us in slavery, shackles us up, and showed us in all parts of America.
That's right.
All different parts of the Americas in the world. Right? We still here. Nobody redeemed us. Martin Luther King tried, and Marcus Garvey tried, Malcolm X, all these men, they tried, but what happened? They shut them down. They gunned them down. Right? Hey, you guys, hey, Cesar Chavez, all these different men, right? So we showing you that the Most High God, our history, is in the Bible. Why we never been told about the history of the Bible is our history.
Y'all Israelites.
You said what? I can barely hear you, brother. Yeah, they shut us out. They shut us out so we don't keep the commandments. Right? Because that's how we got into this predicament by not keeping the law, statutes, commandments. Right? It's in my backpack, King. Right? So that's how we get out of this situation, by keeping the law, statutes, commandments. So family, do we know any law, statutes, commandments? Wait, first and foremost, do y'all believe y'all Israelites? According to what we brought out. I could bring out many more precepts to show you. For the sake of time or sake for your time, I just brought out 3 to show y'all who y'all be according to the Lord. Right? And the Lord was speaking to the Israelites. Right? So with the 3 things that I showed y'all, do y'all believe y'all Israelites? What about you, sister? You guess so? Right? Because you know what Native American means? Yeah, do you know what it means? Right, native is just saying you're a native to a so-called white man. Because America comes from a so-called white man name. America is that species. Literally. African American. Literally. Africa is named after a white man, and America is named after a white man.
That's right.
Right, and they call y'all Indians, meaning they call y'all savages. And they the real savages. Exactly, but they call y'all that all the time, right? And they call us niggas, blacks, all type of stuff. You know, they call y'all redskins and all that. All these derogatory terms that they call us. Let's get that in 30. What's that? 37. Come, Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Show you that's a curse too. How they change our nationality, got these different terms for us, to where now, we kind of now brothers embrace nigga. Right? Yeah, they name. Hey, how crazy it is with them. The so-called Native Americans, when they killing, they have the Cowboys versus the Redskins every year. Literally every year. They gotta play on that day. That's off. That's crazy. But bring this up.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
Astonishment meaning amazement. We're amazement to a lot of people. Right? Continue.
A proverb.
What?
A proverb.
They got a lot of smart sayings about us. That's what a proverb is. Right? Continue.
And a byword.
And a what?
And a byword.
On this a Native American.
And a byword.
On this an African American.
And a byword.
That's all bywords. Something that's out of our God-given nationality. Because we are not all African Americans, neither are we Native Americans. We're not those things. Because you can never find those terms in the Bible. You would never find it. Right? Continue on that.
Among all the nations,
Among
all the nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
From all the nations, he lead us, right? I'm from Southern California. In Southern California, they got reservations for Native Americans. When they own, like you said, y'all own all this land. How y'all subject to one part of the town? And then they put y'all way in the back or somewhere. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, Missy, yeah. So how is that when y'all, and they subject y'all to one area? When y'all own all this land? That's a slap in your face. Then they they kind of pay y'all every month or so-called, some people, so, but that's showing us, the curses, to show you that, more or less, you're not a Native American, neither are you African American, you'll be an Israelite according to the Bible. You'll be an Israelite according to the Bible. So with that being said, as Israelites, we got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to get us out of this captivity. Because don't you want to get out of this captivity and be able to be free, not having taxes to pay, doing the things that you will in righteousness, and not having to worry about where your next meal come, I got to pay this rent, I got to do this, all this. But the white men set up all these infrastructures to keep us at a low totem pole. You said what? Yeah, they settled us for failure. Yep, craft the council. So do y'all know any laws according to the Lord? All right, brother. Can you get one commandment before you leave, brother? Or you got to get out right now? All right, let's get Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. All right, let's get the Sabbath day.
Hey, remember the Sabbath day.
Remember the Sabbath day. Y'all ever heard of the Sabbath day? What is it?
This is for you.
Okay. You heard of the Sabbath day, brother? Bring this up.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. To keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
6 days you do all your work, but what?
But the seventh day.
But the what?
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
What's the 7th day of the week? Y'all sure about that? Look at your calendars. What's your calendar say? When you look at your calendar, look at the top. Now, don't go for the 1st of September or wherever it falls on. What's the first day of the week? Did I say that, brother? What's at the top? That's Sunday up there, brother. Sunday is the first day of the week.
Not Monday. Sunday.
No, I asked y'all what's the 7th day of the week. Y'all both said Sunday. But I asked y'all what's actually the first day of the week, and y'all said y'all didn't know. That's what happened. Sunday is actually the first day. Saturday is actually the 7th day of the week. Go SS. Sunday will be the first, and Saturday will be actually the Sabbath day of the Lord, which is today. So within the Sabbath day, there's certain things the Most High say you can't do. Continue on that.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
In that day, you shouldn't do any work, right? So on the Sabbath day, you don't do your work. You don't do any type of work, right? So it's other things, stipulations on the Sabbath day you can't do. You can't buy, you can't sell, you can't do your own pleasures on the Sabbath day either. You can't cook. You could eat, but you can't cook, right? You can't kindle no fire in your habitations. We're reading to Exodus 35:2 on down, right? And then according to Nehemiah chapter 10 verse 31, you can't buy nor sell on the Sabbath day.
2 minutes.
Right? Let's get that.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, and verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we will not buy it of them.
But now what?
That we will not buy it of them.
And we're not going to buy of anything. Right? That's the Sabbath day. That's how we keep it holy.
We're here for y'all.
All right, brother? I know you got to leave. You got a flyer?
Come
All right, let's get this better flyer. Let's get this better flyer. All right? Yeah, you can't go on. All right, what's your nationality, brother? You African American? So, do you know what the term African in American means?
I see you got that cross on, brother. Give us 2 minutes. He gonna explain what that cross is.
It's named after a white man. That's it. Yes, it's named after Leo Skippers Africanus that defeated Hannibal in repeated wars. And America is named after a white man too, named Americo Vespucci. He's an Italian magnate. So he named those two landmasses after they conquered them with us as the terms. I agree with you because we came from the west coast of Africa, and then now we're here in America, so they put it together, so African American, right? So we actually, you can never find those terms African American in the Bible either, right? Right? So who are we? Brother, we will be the Israelites according to the Bible. God's chosen people. You hear that, brothers? We will be the Israelites. What's your nationality? You said what? I can barely hear you, brother. What's your race? Your ethnicity? You black? You're all black? You the same color as your shirt? You shirt, brother? You same color as your shirt? Your shirt? Brother, no, you not, brother. You brown. Brother, you brown. Nobody's black, brother. I ain't never seen a black person in a day in my life. Brother, you're a light brown. You're a light brown. You're a darker brown. You're a darker brown. You're a lighter brown. Right? We're all different shades of brown. Right? You can't be white. I've never seen a white person a day in my life. nor I never seen a black person a day in my life. You'll never see it. Like, that's white, look. That's white, and then look at the white people over there. They're not the same, they red. They red, they're different shades of red. Right? So brothers, y'all not black, y'all can't go to the land black, y'all can't speak black, y'all don't have a language as being black. Alright brothers, y'all be Israelites according to the Bible. Y'all ever heard of the Israelites? You heard of the Israelites? What you know about the Israelites? You said what? Yeah, we still slaves, man. We still slaves here, right? We're still slaves in America right now. We gotta work for the white man. We gotta do everything for the so-called white man. Build infrastructure up and work for him, build his businesses up. We're still here, man. We pay taxes to show you that you're in slavery, right? So, hey brothers, we've given a commandment to the Lord. Y'all know any commandment to the Lord?
What is red?
Because I know the sister, she got one commandment, which is what? The Sabbath day, right?
Think about it.
Right? So let's continue with the commandments. This is Leviticus. What you got?
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
Right.
And the swine.
What?
And the swine.
Y'all know what swine is? What is swine? Hey brother, what to do that? What to do? What's swine? Yeah. Swine. S-W-I-N-E. Swine is pig. Pork. Y'all eat pork? Y'all love pork? No? No pork? Alright, all praises. You eat pork, sister? You stop so much? You stop? Okay. Let's see what the Lord feel about pork. Alright, let's see.
And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean unto you.
Here's what?
He is unclean unto you.
The pork is unclean. All praises, y'all don't eat it. Y'all shouldn't indulge in pork. It's bad for you. You know, you get a lot of magnets and worms in your brain, your stomach, and your organs. You know, tumors, cancer, high blood pressure, the gout. All these things is the reason why our people die from them diseases, right? Because they eat a lot of dirty food, which is the pork. Our people love pork, right? And pigs don't sweat, neither do they digest their food properly, right? That's what God said. They don't chew the cud. They don't digest their food properly. Like a cow, it got 4 stomachs. You know, and regurgitate it back up, spit all the bad things out, and keep it going like a cycle. That's what a cow would do. That's a proper animal to eat. But a pig is bad for you, right? Continue on that.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Their what?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Their flesh, you shouldn't eat it.
And their carcass shall ye not touch.
They dead bodies, you shouldn't even touch it, right? So pork is unclean to us. It's bad for us, right? Oh, what's going on over there? But hey, so if anybody offer y'all pork, y'all deny it. No pork. Right? We're not Muslims up here. We don't eat pork when it's convenient. Right? We don't never touch pork. We will die before we eat pork. We will die. So what's in the seas do y'all eat? Like what's in the waters do y'all eat? You gotta eat crab, shrimp, lobster, oysters, calamari, what y'all eat? So you eat that? With what's it called? The boils? Crab boils. Y'all eat all that? Shrimp boils? No? What about y'all? What about the black brother right here? The brother that's black as sweater. What about you, brother? You eat crab, shrimp, lobster? What about you, brother? Yeah, a little bit. Let's see what the Lord feel about it.
This is verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So the Lord said whatever comes out of the water, it has to have fins and scales.
That's right.
So if it don't have fins and scales, you can't eat it.
At all.
Right? Continue on that.
It says, and all they have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and every living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
So he said, hey, those things will be it's an abomination to you. And the Lord hates abomination, right? So would y'all, I know some of y'all brothers don't eat that, but sister, would you give up the pork and the crab, shrimp, and lobster for the Lord?
I'm not gonna lie to you, every time I eat it, I get sick.
Sister, it's telling you something. because they got bacteria too, you know, and they had the boo-boo, the boo-boo in the crab, I mean the shrimp, right? And ultimately, right? Right, when you look at the pig, I mean the crab, shrimp, and lobster, it's the same thing as a roach. So if you eat a crab, shrimp, and lobster, you just might well just get your roach, cook it up, boil it up, get some sauce.
Sea roach.
Yeah, they sea roaches. You might as well just eat it up. So, you know, sister, you get sick for a reason. Just not want to,
Good for you. Come on.
not oblige you.
2 minutes. Okay.
All right, sir. And so, with that, if you give up the crash of philosophy for the Lord, sister. Praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High.
All praise.
Brothers, yeah, do y'all believe y'all Israelites? Do I gotta show y'all? Y'all believe? Y'all sure? All right. Right, because the Most High, those things that we just did, crab, shrimp, and lobster, pork, keeping the Sabbath day. Y'all heard about the Sabbath day? Right? Which is where? When is the Sabbath day? Today. Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, which is the Sabbath day. Right? So we gotta remember that's the Sabbath day. So we gotta keep it holy, brothers. Alright? So let me get Numbers 15. Right? And 38.
Kyle, bring that up.
Book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speaking to the children of Israel.
What?
Speaking to the children of Israel.
To the Israelites, right? All the Israelites.
And bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
Alright, y'all know what fringes are? Fringes? What's the fringes? What's fringes? Oh yeah, these fringes. Right? So, and Lord said, hey, you gotta have fringes, brothers.
That's right.
You got, hey, put down the Chirac shirt, man. And what's that, V-on? Put down the V-on, man.
That's right.
Right? Put down the V-on. Hey, you see me, man. You gotta have it. You see the colors, man. You gotta put it on your shirt no matter what it is. You see the elder right here, too. Right? You gotta have fringes, right? You too, sister. Gotta have fringes, too. And you know, the Native Americans used to wear fringes all the time. They still do. It's the reason why. They're keeping the commandments. They might use it as a custom now, like as a nation of people, but hey, they did that because they knew they was Israelites, right? Hey, brothers, do they got a flyer? Get them a flyer, right? Oh yeah. Hey, get a flyer real quick. All young brothers, hey, y'all keep the commandments, man. Keep it holy, brothers, right? So, right? Because y'all got to love the Lord, man. Y'all can't just be saying y'all love the Lord and, you know, don't do actions, right? So, sister, hey, those are the commandments of the Lord. There's a lot of other commandments as well. Let me get Deuteronomy 20:25. Let me get a First Timothy chapter 2 verse. Yeah, can't finish that. But hold that for me. Come.
It's the book of Numbers 15:38, speaking to the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generation.
What?
Throughout their generation.
So throughout your generations, you gotta have these fringes on, sister. Continue.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Ribbon of what?
A ribbon of blue.
Everybody got the ribbon of blue across their fringes, right? You gotta have blue. Blue is a royal color, according to the Lord. Continue on.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe.
What?
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
All the what?
All the commandments of the Lord.
These are physical reminders to keep the commandments. This is a commandment to keep the commandments, to help you in your walk. Because there's a lot of things in this world that will kick you off the step. So the Lord is setting us up so we won't fail. Because right before this, I believe a couple of verses before this, a man was collecting sticks on the Sabbath day and got put to death. Got put to death. So, you know, the Most High God said, hey, let me put y'all fringes, give y'all physical reminders so y'all can see them and look upon it and know y'all can't do certain things. Right? And not forget, right? Let me get First Timothy, real quick. I want that first. Two.
First Timothy.
First Timothy 2 and 1.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner also that the women adore themselves in modest apparel.
In what?
In modest apparel.
In what?
In modest apparel.
So our women gotta be in modest apparel, right? Do you know what modesty means, sister? Or do you, right? Okay, so you know what that means. So that's how an Israelite woman should be. They should be in modest apparel, right? Continue on it.
With shamefacedness.
What?
With shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array.
Right? Meaning that shouldn't be your only thing you should care about, your outer appearance. It should be about your what?
And it says, but which becometh who professing godliness.
Professing what?
Professing godliness.
So it should be about you professing godliness and upholding yourself as a godly woman, right? Not about your outer appearance and things like that. You said what? Continue.
Which professing which becometh woman professing godliness with good works.
With good what?
With good works.
With good works, right? Because there's certain things women have to do and hold how they should be upkeeping, certain things, So bring this up.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Right? So a woman should not wear that which that pertaining to a man. Right? Continue on that.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Neither should what?
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So a man should not put on a woman's garment. So what is a woman's garment that a man shouldn't wear?
What about
Dresses,
the sister?
right? So what's
Two minutes, sister.
a garment that a women wear that they shouldn't be wearing? Jeans. You're right. Jeans. Women, they shouldn't wear jeans. That's a manly attire. Everything about a jean is a manly attire.
And Native Americans.
If you look at it, look at how it's cut, the zipper, the flap, the button, everything that's literally for a man. Then what they say, the man wear pants in relationship. And also the bathroom will tell you that as well. The woman had the skirt on and the man had the what? The pants. Right? To show you that dynamic. That women, they in the 50s, 30s, 20s, all them, they didn't wear jeans at all. And if they did, it was rare. It was something new. Right? So, as a woman, sister, hey, you should be wearing a dress, keeping your fringes on as a woman, and being shamefaced and being modest as a Israelite woman, right? So, you got a point?
God, even the woman body will even tell you not to wear pants. That's why a lot of women, when they get pregnant, they don't put on jeans.
Man, they don't. They don't. They don't know. Yeah, they be in them big old dresses, right? They really be in the dresses, right? Nah, you good on that, King. Even then, you don't want a man to look at you just for your body, right? That's a big problem in society. Woman, I can wear what I want, but a man gonna try to talk to you because he see what you got. I literally see every curve, every shape, every cut of your body. So I'm gonna try to come talk to you because they think it in their mind. They lusting at you, after you, not by what you could bring to the table in your mind, but by your body. That makes sense, sister? Right? So if we want to be approached the right way, we gotta kind of be in a different spirit, right? So, sister, with that being said, all those things we brought out was the law, statutes, commandments, right? So you said you feel like those things are, your will and try to, right? Because the Most High God, he said, hey, let me get Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7, right?
Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 7. Make no tarry to turn to the Lord.
He said, make no what?
Make no tarry to turn to the Lord.
He said, make no tarry to turn to the Lord. Tarrying is
Sister on the
like,
scooter.
so what? Take your time.
She ain't visible.
Tarrying. Hey, the Lord said, make no tarry. Continue.
And put not off from day to day.
He said, don't put off from day to day. Listen, everybody's not promised to you. Nobody's promised to you. Nobody knows what's in store for you. Continue.
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth,
Right.
and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt be destroyed.
You can be saved. You think, hey, I'm not doing nothing. I got tomorrow. I'm gonna get to it. But the Most High say you can get destroyed right then and there. The next day. Continue.
And perish.
And what?
And perish in the day of vengeance.
The day of vengeance. Because nobody know the time and the place where the Lord is actually coming back. Nobody knows. Everybody, we got signs, right? The Lord brought signs in the world to show us. He gave us the precepts to align to us. But nobody knows the time or the place, right? We're living in the end days. You know that we're living